for joining us for the Conservation Module training video. The Conservation Module is a new module available in CIS Infinity version 4. It's also known as the Efficiency Module because it supports programs and initiatives that encourage the efficient use of resources and supports conservation efforts. The Conservation Module can be used by utilities and other agencies that offer a variety of tax credits, rebates, and other incentives to support efficiency and to manage these conservation programs. Some of the benefits that the Conservation Module offers is that it's extremely easy to use and it's user-friendly. The process that the user follows to set up a customer's account with a conservation program is both intuitive and it requires minimal training. Another benefit of the module is the flexibility that it offers. Customers' accounts can be set up with these programs. They can be edited, deleted, or even cancelled. But one of the biggest benefits of this module is how configurable and customizable the module is. Every utility or agency that uses this module can have unique, time-specific conservation programs on offer, and all that can be configured so that only eligible customers are signed up for the programs. Now let's have a quick demonstration on the Conservation Module. This demonstration will assume that all configuration has been completed in the necessary control forms. You can get more information on the control forms by referring to the Conservation Module user guide found on mycisinfinity.com. Now, before we actually add the program to an account, let's have a quick look at the Conservation Program Management form. The form can be accessed through the main menu by simply clicking on it. What you see here on the List tab are all the conservation programs that have been set up in this system. Let's go through the lighting rebate program in a little more detail. I click on the lighting rebate and then I click on the Details tab. Here I have relevant information that is specific to the lighting rebate program. The program ID is auto-populated and incremented as more conservation programs are added. The description should be relevant to the program, so in this case, lighting rebate is a good description. The program code is configured in the Conservation Program Control, and you would simply select the one that is relevant to this program. The program start date is when you want the conservation program to start, and the program end date is, of course, when you want the program to end. If you don't know when the program will end, it can be left blank and completed at a later date, or the program can just go on indefinitely if you leave it blank. As for the Program Applies To field, the program can apply to an account, to a customer, or to both, so you would select the appropriate option. In the next field, you specify what the maximum rebate amount for the program is. So in this program, the maximum a customer can get would be $50. You can add any notes to make the program more clear, and lastly, you can add the criteria to this program to only make it available to certain customers, so that not everyone can sign up for this program. For example, the notes say that this program offers rebates for residential customers, so I have criteria here that says the account type is equal to residential. I could have added other criteria such as location-specific criteria or even equipment-specific criteria to really narrow it down. On the Services Available tab, we can configure all the types of equipment and services that customers can apply for rebates for. In this case, customers can only apply for rebates for LED bulbs. The Process Flow tab allows us to configure the steps in the customer application process. In this case, once an application is submitted, the first step is for the documentation to be reviewed, and once that's completed, it goes for financial approval. Now that we have a bit of an understanding of the conservation program management, let's now submit an application on an account. We first open Account View and search for the account we want to add a conservation program to. Once the account comes up, click on the Conservation tab. We have 4 grids on this tab, and we'll go through each one. The first grid we have is the Applications grid. This is where we add the conservation program to the account. Click on the Add button, and that opens the application form. The customer and account details, as well as the application ID, are already pre-populated. The application date is the date on which the application is made, so we'll put in February 27th. You then select the conservation program you want to enroll the account in. In this case, we will select the Lighting Rebate program. You then select the payment option, so we'll select credit. In the rebate amount field, type the rebate amount that applies. Let's say it's $10. From the Source drop-down list, select how the customer learned about the rebate program. We'll select Friend. Lastly, you can add any notes and then click on Save. As you can see, the workflow grid is automatically populated with the process flow steps that were specified in the Conservation Program Management form. We can now attach supporting documents for this application in the Attachments grid. Click on Add and the form appears. Most of the fields in this form are pre-populated, but you do need to specify the document type, attach the file, and then give it a description. Click on Save and you can see it's saved in the grid. Now let's assume that the supporting document has been reviewed and approved by the utility. The reviewer would click on the Review Documentation step in the workflow grid and click on Complete Workflow Step. As you can see, the completed date now shows. We also have a Resources grid where we can add information about the equipment that the customer has applied for a rebate for. You click on Add, and when the form appears, you fill in the relevant details. In our example, we'll select LED bulbs as the asset type, then we'll select the manufacturer, select the model, the rebate type, the quantity, and the purchase price. And then notice the rebate amount is automatically populated. Click on Save and it's saved in the Resources tab. Back on the Workflow grid, click on the Financial Approval step and click on Complete Workflow Step. This customer's application for this rebate program has now been completed. I hope you've enjoyed this quick overview of the Conservation module. For more details, please refer to the Conservation Module User Guide available on mycisinfinity.com or contact a representative at Advanced Utility Systems.